There's Adam.
Anyone you're anticipating being on tonight?
I think Jason, Jalen, Drew, Al, losing is Derek around.
Do you have a starting lineup?
Peyton, Sam, Oshae, Luke, Bam.
When you're obviously training camp is partly about figuring out both depth, rotation, back end of the roster. Obviously, a day like this, when your top 6 guys are out, what are you looking for from those guys? The rest of the way down when they get a chance to have extended opportunities.
Yeah, first just making sure they're following through with the objectives and stuff that we've been honing in on. I thought last night was great practice from the standpoint of having to finish a late game, having to close it out, and so that lineup that finished the game last night did a lot of great things in the fourth quarter and the last 2 minutes that we can learn from as a team. And so just being aware of that, all the stuff that we talk about, offense, defense, situationally, can they execute? And then really the mindset that they bring to the game.
You talked about with Chris Stapps having him play a bunch of different coverages for you defensively. How do you feel like he managed that yesterday, and what was kind of the process of getting him comfortable doing that?
We didn't get too in-depth yesterday. It was more just kind of execute our coverage and work to do it with physicality, which I thought we had good physicality, intentionality. But he's a smart player. He communicates. So just we've done it more in practice to where we've put him in some different situations and put him into some of our long-term system that we have, and so he just continues to work at it.
There was a play or a moment last night, like you were doing kind of line change in the third quarter, and the guys were at the table, and a couple of times you told them to stay. That you just kind of want to see something specific in that situation, or that was when you guys went on that 9-0 run, you just kind of want to get some?
I think I wanted them to earn a stop before they came out of the game, and I think they were supposed to come out, and then the ball got knocked out of bounds, and so I just wanted them to see if they can get a stop before they come out. That was the last thing they did. And then I think we got a stop, deflection, dunk. They kind of earned their way out of the game with a stop.
Joe, forgive me if we asked you about this last night, but the challenge for the Oshae putback, was that something just testing out the challenging thing, or? No,
it's a 5-point play. So, if that goes in, it's 3 points. It was a loose ball foul, so that's a 5-point swing if you can manage that. And I think if that's those things are kind of like 50-50 in my opinion over the back dunks. Like you see highlights all the time where a guy gets ran over, but because of a certain situation it's not a foul, but in that one that it is. So I think if that goes in, it kind of seals the game with a minute and change left. It's a 4-possession game as opposed to them coming down and making it a 1-possession game. So I think it was the perfect opportunity to challenge.
Is Matt upset about his record starting off?
No, I mean, we're not result-oriented on the challenge. There's a process to it, and sometimes I think the process of challenging is more important, whether you get the result or not. But it'll be an interesting dynamic to the challenge this year, knowing that you get it back, but on the second one you lose your timeout regardless. And so knowing the mandatory situation, and do you want to challenge if it's the other team's mandatory because you lose it if you call it, and they get to keep theirs. And so there's another layer that Matt's doing a great job of staying connected out of the challenge rule.
Joe, what do you think of this team coming into the season?
I mean, they're coached by Tibbs. They got their returners. They play with physicality. They're tough. They play with a heck of a mindset, and you just know they're always going to try to be the tougher team, and they're always going to be prepared. And that's just kind of who they are. They got a DNA.
Good. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.